Hello students, let us look on let us go for looking into HTML syntax. Let us have a look on elements and attributes, which we have already seen. That element is nothing but a HTML tag, and name value pair used for a particular element is attribute. So these are all the different examples of HTML elements or tags for creating images, links, lists, headings, and we have also seen some of the examples in interactive class also. So let me explain you one elements and attributes with one of the example, that is a tag. So this is used for creation of the hyperlinks that we generally say as a links. So that is done through tag a. You can observe that tag a opening brace is shown here and it is getting closed here at the end after the mentioning of attribute. So href is a attribute name, and this is the value that we have given for the href. So what does it indicate is a is a anchor tag which is used for creation of a link, hyperlinks. So what it is doing is it is creating one link with the content as central park, which will appear in blue color usually, and when you click on this blue color link text, you will be carried to the web page which is mentioned here. So this is how we are mentioning the name and attribute name and its value. So content can be a text or other HTML elements also. Sometimes this content we can place as an image also, like a button or any other image, like for going back to the home page we are using a home like image. So this is the way we can specify the home content in different ways. So one more important nature of HTML code is here the elements are nested, that is one element is placed inside another element. In such a case, the container element is said to be parent of the contained or parent of the child element. So any element obtained within the child are said to be descendants. So descendants of that parent elements. Likewise, any given child element may have a variety of ancestors also. So let me explain you about nesting and hierarchy of elements with this example. Let us take a simple example here. As you can observe in this text box, there is a body tag. Inside that we have a paragraph tag, and this is the content of paragraph, and some part of the content of paragraph is displayed in strong, that is its appearance is made bold and highlighted. We are closing paragraph. We have a heading tag. Again there is a paragraph. Some more tags are used here. So here how we can understand the nesting or hierarchy of elements is, see, body tag is a main element which has a number of child elements, like paragraph, one paragraph. Then h1 is another child element of body. div is here, you can observe, that is another element. Inside paragraph you have strong element embedded, so this is a descendant of paragraph. Similarly, inside division you have a paragraph, so paragraph is a descendant of division. Inside this paragraph again we have a span element, so span is a descendant of paragraph. So this is the way we can show the hierarchy of HTML elements with a tree like structure here. So this is how we can say that the elements in HTML are nested one inside another. In order to properly construct a hierarchy of elements, your browser is usually expecting each element, nested elements, to be properly nested. That is, child's ending tag must be closed before its parent's ending tag. The way we are using loops inside loops in programming languages. When we have a nested loops, we are closing inner loop first and then the outer loop. The same way here also, if you have a child element inside enclosed within outer element, the inner element must be closed. As you can observe, you have h1 element closing here. Inside this strong is nested, So strong is a child element of H1. The correct way of nesting is strong should be closed before the closing of H1. Incorrect way of nesting is you are closing strong after the closing of H1. So this is incorrect. So in such cases, it may lead to ambiguity for the browsers. In smaller cases, it may not be when you have mentioned high level properties using CSS and all. That case, it will not result into a syntax error, rather the output is not displayed as expected by you. So in order to avoid that, nesting should be done properly. So let us go for semantic markup. How the content should look, that is led to cascading style sheet. So we'll just go through beginning of that is for beginners, how to create a semantic HTML. In structure, we have a vital way of communicating information. As in paper, we can also do it in electronic document also. In fact, in a better way, the presentation of the information in a document can be done, like it can be presented like article, heading, list, paragraph, link, image, navigation, headers, footers, so on. So advantages of semantic markup, why we should include the content with various formats. So that eliminates presentation oriented markup and writing semantic. HTML markup has a variety of important advantages, like maintainability. It is easier to update and change the web pages that contain a great deal of presentation markup. It is highlighted, no, so it can be easily maintained. Faster, because faster to download when you have a different like only one image has to be downloaded or only one link to be downloaded. When you have split up the page into multiple parts, individually you can download them. Visiting a web page using voice reading software can be very frustrating. The site does not use a semantic markup. Accessibility can be done easily. You can also give a search engine optimization if you are separating the header and actual content. So how you can optimize the search engines, that we'll see in the later part of this. So let me take a simplest HTML document. You can observe the first line here, doc type HTML. This is mandatory when we are writing the document in HTML5, right? Otherwise, in a simple HTML, we are simply writing HTML alone, and you have a title as we have discussed yesterday. Here it is demonstrating a paragraph. So one paragraph is displayed inside a web page. So the title element is used to provide a broad description of the content which is appearing in the browser. You can observe the output also here. So this is the simplest HTML document. Main thing is, one thing I would like to say here is this doc type HTML is important here in case of HTML5 to indicate the browser that it is you are going to use the HTML5. Here is little bit bigger document, as you can observe. So after that we have used HTML tag, head, language we have specified as English, EN is used, some meta tag is used, then title is used. It is linked to style sheet, and attribute href is standing for hyperlink reference, right? This we have used in anchor tag also, which usually have the value of a file or a web page. So here it is indicating the location of a file. Then script you are writing, closing the head, then actual content of your web page starts with the body tag, h1 and others. So here I have numbered these with lines with the different numbering. So let us go in detail about one by one. So doc type, it is telling the browser that what type of document the browser is about to process. So in this case it is HTML, because we are writing doc type is HTML. HTML head, body tags, they are commonly known to you, right? So these all are familiar to you. Inside the head we have used something like a meta element. It is here we are indicating the encoding type of the data. So inside the head also we have specified an external style sheet, which we are going to learn soon. Even you can mention the link to a external JavaScript file also, right? So we will go through the quick tour of HTML in the next class. Thank you.